Um, what is it like to be a journalist?
Well, it's pretty exciting. You get to do something new every day. Like yesterday, I was talking to some people who own some therapy dogs at the library, and today I was out at the Heart of the Cumberland playground talking to some teachers who brought some kids with special needs out to the playground. So just kind of something different every day. You never know what you're going to be asked to do, but it's good for somebody who has a lot of different interests.
I agree with that. How is it like to work at a citywide newspaper company?
I like it. Some places kind of smallish as Cookeville, you get to know everybody real well. So I know a lot of people in town, and they kind of help me find the story ideas. They'll call me and be like, "Hey, I heard something interesting you might like," and that's kind of form a real close friendship with people in town because that you talk to them on a regular basis, and they help you out and they find things that you wouldn't know of otherwise. Like the playground I went to this morning, I had no idea. I had somebody call me and they went, "You know what? There's going to be a school here this morning. That might be a good story." And I would have never heard of that if she hadn't told me. So it's good to have contacts everywhere.
Yeah. What is like the best moment in your news reporting career?
Oh gosh. Let's see. Well, I know it's hard to narrow it down to one. I mean, there's stuff that was fun for me. Like I got to go caving one time. I'd never been inside a cave before, and I was interviewing a local woman who built caves or gates for caves to keep people out, and she was featured in National Geographic magazine too. And I was just chatting with her. She was from Cookeville, and I just mentioned, "Oh, I've never been in a cave before." She's like, "Well, would you like to go?" Well, yeah. So she took me and my sister into a cave, and we was like 2 hours in and 2 hours out, and that was a lot of fun. I got to learn a lot of different things. And another fun one was I went with a ghost hunting group once. I don't know if they're still in town anymore, but there was a group that had all the equipment and went out and did ghost hunting. And they were like, "Hey, would you like to come with us on a search one time?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, that sounds awesome." So I went out, and we were out till like 3 or 4 in the morning looking for ghosts, and it was real interesting to see how they used all their equipment and how they did everything. So those were kind of fun. But I also like the ones where I'm actually helping somebody do something. Like for the playground before it was built, I got to write the stories to help bring volunteers in to get something done. I do a lot of stories for nonprofit groups who are trying to help people. So I like doing the feel-good stories where you help people do something that's needed in the community. I like doing those a lot too. So it's hard to pick a favorite, but I get to do a lot of fun stuff.
Understandable.
Yeah.
What's the most dangerous part about your job?
Let's see. So my beat isn't particularly dangerous because I do a lot of human interest stories, like artists and things. I mean, let's see if there's any time I was in danger. I don't think I've been in danger other than maybe in the cave. Like when I went caving, there was one point where the lady said, "Okay, don't fall here or you will die." I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's considered a little dangerous.
Yes. So that was probably one of the only dangerous things I have. We do have reporters who cover like crime and things like that. And I know one of the ladies who retired from the crime beat, she actually told me she had people shoot at her house before, angry because she put them in the paper. So I said that job's probably more dangerous than things that I would do. But I don't think we've had anything dangerous happen lately. And then just you need to be careful where you go, make sure someone always knows where you are, and things like that. Let's see if I can think of anything else dangerous. I think the cave for me was the only dangerous thing I've been on that I can recall. Most everything else is just community fun stuff like plays and artists and writers and events in the community. So I personally haven't been on anything that's been super dangerous, other than a cave, perhaps.
Okay. What is the best part about being a reporter?
think we talked about a little bit, getting out people to help others who need the help. I know one of the first stories I did was a little boy. I think he had cancer, and they were trying to raise funds to help with his treatment. And before then, I didn't know if I wanted to be a reporter. I had an English major, and I had started as just the newsroom secretary. And they were like, "Why don't you try writing a little bit since you have an English degree?" And I'm like, "Well, okay." And I was kind of shy, so I'm like, "I don't know if I want to do this or not." But I walked out of that interview thinking, I just probably helped this boy, made a big impact in his life trying to get funds for him. And it just felt really good. Like I did something to help this boy. And I think that's what kind of hooked me into this type of job where you can actually do something to help people and get them, either something they really need or recognition for something really cool they've done. We've had people here who have helped produce movies and artists who have done really big things. So there was a man here who, have you seen the Wizard of Oz movie, the newest one? He made the little marionette that walks and talks. He made a real one that they later CGI'd over it. But I'm like, Cookville, who would have thought that this guy who had worked on this national or worldwide, I guess, movie lived in Cookville. So it's just kind of fun to show people, hey, these people live in our town, and they're pretty interesting. So that's my favorite parts.
What seems so unnerving about today's journalism considering racial issues, economic decline, etc., in your own opinion?
Oh gosh. Well, I know there's a lot going on nationally charged with race and everything like that. Locally, I know we've had a lot of people who are trying to make things right. I know we have like African American groups. Not long after there was a lot of unrest with the African American groups where the boy was shot and things. We had a group here in town who got together. It was African Americans and whites together, opening conversations, saying like, could this happen here? It's like, are we treating you well? Like, what can we do to make sure that that doesn't happen here? And the police officers came, and I guess we're just kind of a tight-knit community here who wants to make sure good things happen. And I know with the transgender things here, I just went to a Pride event this past weekend. They had one in Cookville and talked to some people who were transgender, and it was very interesting to try and help bring their issues out and not make it into a circus like it is in national media. Just sit down and say, talk to me, tell me what you want to say, and let's not shout at each other. Let's talk, and like bringing those issues to light in like a peaceful way, I guess I should say. Yes. Hope that answered your question.
Yes, you obviously did, and I agree with you honestly, because in Cookville it's way different than nationwide.
Right.
And I've lived here ever since I was a little girl. So
Okay. Well, I've been here since 2001, so I've lived here all my life. So I've kind of got to know the city since I've lived here. So it's a good place, it seems like.
Yes. Well, thank you for taking the time for me to interview.
No problem. I enjoyed it.
All right. I enjoyed it too, honestly.
Good. Well, if you have any more questions, just give me a call or email. I can get you my card before you leave. And if you have anything else, I'll help you out as best I can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, well, let me grab that for you while you're here.